Hi, everybody. Don't worry, the empty chair will be filled soon. Yes.
Is there a lag? I'm staring at the thing, and I don't see anything.
That's why you can't see him.
I see it switched.
What happened?
There
Refresh?
it goes. I look like a dummy. Hi. Hey.
Tony
Hey,
got
hi.
that lag.
I have that brain lag.
Isn't there always a lag?
A little bit.
There's
But
always
you-
slight lag. But I'm the one, you guys are all prepared and ready and all that, and I'm the one that's like, I can't see anything. I can't, why can't I
You even
see
had a
anything?
countdown, bro.
I did.
Well,
I know.
I counted
I
down.
know.
Countdown, like a real one.
I know.
Welcome,
Hey, guys.
welcome, my friends, to Reality Break 20, where we take a break from the real world to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons
and
Dragons.
This is the ASMR episode tonight.
This is the chill NPR version of the Reality Break stream tonight. Brought to you by our awesome friends at Hexwood's Creation.
It's like a bad
And
sneeze.
viewers
I gotta
like
let it
you.
out.
Viewers like you. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get through the whole spiel before Bill comes back. He's thankfully
Alright.
helping out with parental duties. And I am attempting to be a little quiet tonight. Things are quite busy at my house tonight. So you get to enjoy my so-named podcast voice.
Yes.
And I think Tony wanted to tell us about some ways that you can participate in stream.
Hey. How you doing out there? So here's the funny thing. You're gonna listen to this, and I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna think it's the weirdest thing, right? You're gonna think this is the weirdest thing, right? Okay, so there's this button. You know, you're watching a stream. You see something that's funny, memorable, charming, witty. There's this button. You're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this.
This one right
Stay
here?
with me. Stay with me. There you go. No, close.
No.
It's close.
Yes.
It's actually on the screen you're watching. It's a little clapper, and what you can do. Stay with me here. All right, stay with me. You could click the clapper, and what it'll do is it'll make a clip of the segment that you're watching up to a minute. I know it's kind of like magic, but you know, all of the big social media networks, they don't want you to know this, but I'm letting you in because you're a subscriber to my podcast. So then when you clip it, you got to make sure you title it, and this is for subscribers only. So then you title the clip, and then that clip, if you're with me, gets fed into the algorithm and gets us more traffic, more views. It pushes our profile, if you will, up to the algorithm gods. So yes, make sure if you see something funny, memorable, engaging, entertaining, make sure you click that little clapper, make a clip of it, and then it could even get fed into our social media platforms.
Or if you just want to go back and make fun of us, you're like, oh, look at those people, you know?
Something like that.
Thank you, Tony.
Losers.
That was amazing. And Bill won because he arrived before we finished the spiel.
Hey.
Bill, do you want to
yeah,
tell
go.
us about a place that folks can hang out when they are not on stream with us? Or you get to hear his podcast voice.
But you gotta do it in podcaster voice.
Oh yeah.
In a world.
In a world surrounded by orange, you have John Toomey. Yeah, where am I? What am I doing?
We're talking about where people can hang out with us outside of stream.
Have you done the Discord yet? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, okay. I mean, there's lots of places you can hang out with us. I mean, we're just cool peeps. You can hang out with us anywhere you want to.
The 7-Eleven parking lot.
You know, I mean, you can hang out here if you want. I mean, we got room. But yeah, totally come over and hang out with us on the break.
Yeah, y'all got so much room over there.
You should definitely come check it out. The Break Room is an amazing Discord. It's here for you and me. We can just go hang out there and do all kinds of nifty business, like share memes, check out what we're doing here on Reality Break, and all kinds of nifty things like that. So please come check us out on the Break Room for Reality Break.
Thank you.
I take it.
And Dee, why don't you tell us about one of our big socials that has started doing some cool new stuff?
YouTube?
I was thinking the TikTok.
TikTok.
Oh, my brain doesn't work today. Check us out on TikTok. We are Reality Break 20 over there. We just recently got the ability to go live. Christy has done that twice now. It's been super fun. She's been doing some cosplay things over there. She also does our weekly tidbit of the week. There's some new ones I'm excited for upcoming. I'm not gonna lie, mostly because I thought of them. But yeah, so we're just over 1,000 followers, growing every day, which is really nice, and it is a fun little place to just get some snippets of us in there. Done.
Us.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Sorry, I had to get it out.
Oh, we did a very chill, like, Dungeons and Dragons.
So much better.
Yeah. I know you got. Well, look, chill it good. Chill once in a while is good, but I feel like this is we need to bring the energy up. We gotta.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and last but not least, Christy, would you like to tell our friends about your amazing treasure boxes and our partnership, or sort of partnership with Hexwoods?
Let me pull out my treasure box. So this is my treasure box. It has Hexwood Creations logo on it right there. So Hexwood Creations makes the. Hold on, I'm not going to open it upside down today. Makes these amazing dice boxes. So they're magnetic and they hold a lot of dice. And then this one has a slot for like a tablet, or you can keep a pen in there. And the top is a rolling tray. And he actually makes inserts
Not
that have different.
Tree.
Nothing. I mean, actually, he does make the other kind. So check out his shop. He makes all sorts of wood things in addition to dice boxes. He makes dice towers that attach to the boxes with magnets. He makes wooden signs and cutting boards, wizard's staffs. He makes all sorts of cool stuff. So if you go to hexwoodcreations.com, you go to his shop. A lot of the stuff he does is by commission, and he can make you whatever you want. As long as it's made out of wood, actually. But if you use the code RB20, when you check out, you get a little bit of a discount, and you also let him know that we sent you. So you should go check out Hexwood Creations if you want a really awesome dice box, well made. He makes like designs on them and stuff. You get other things burnt in addition to his logo. It's very cool. So go check out, it's hexwoodcreations.com.
It's straight fire.
Actually, it is. Awesome. I believe we do have all the other various socials. You can look for us anywhere as Reality Break 20. That's who we are everywhere you look. We've got our Star Heel reruns up on YouTube, and the Ocerrya reruns are also going to be there exclusively. So if you notice the past few Wednesdays, Wednesdays, you didn't see us on Twitch. That's why. You can find us on YouTube on Thursdays and Sundays, right?
Yeah.
They'll give us those views and just put it on the background, get us our watch hours, because then we can...
No, what we want you to do is watch and be fully engaged in the story.
Leave comments about all your theories.
Your favorite moment.
Smash that like button.
And subscribe.
Leave lots of comments anytime we mess up or forget something.
Yep.
Look, if we did that, then any Star Heel replay would just be flooded with, I can't believe Tony forgot to do this. I can't believe Tony forgot to do that.
It's all engagement.
My fragile ego couldn't handle that. So don't do that, please.
It's going to be more like, Tony? Yeah, that guy, he's totally my spirit animal.
It could be.
I feel like
My
Tony's spirit animal is a turtle.
Anyway.
Now I have to really think about... No, here's the problem. We're derailed now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to have to ponder that now. You've given me something to ponder, Claire.
Good.
Okay. All right.
You have turtle energy. I don't know what to say.
I think that it is definitely time for some fun this evening. We have one more episode for you of some prologues of our characters, a look into the either very distant or very recent past, and a look at what our characters, how they see the world. So without further ado, let's do the thing.
I had an ear listening to your shenanigans. D.
Welcome, friends.
Tony behind his back.
Oh, 100%. I have the stream paused because internet, and I forgot that the thing was running. So I just thought we were just sitting here the whole time.
That's amazing.
I am the brightest bulb.
You guys.
Love it.
Arrange people
Love
just
it.
slightly. Anyway.
You're as bright
Love it.
as your orange light.
Yeah. It's red.
I kid.
All right, welcome, friends, and perfect. The ad break has ended as well. It's Tuesday night. Welcome to D&D.
Wish I was a bard player again.
You could.
So, we actually have a very special story to tell you, and it is not this music. I need to change my music. We are going to be telling you 2 more prologues tonight, which one of them is a little more unique. You've already heard the amazing stories of Roland and where he's at with his family and his grandson. You heard the incredibly compelling story of Ramasha and what he stands for and why he is so passionate about that. And then we heard about Dominic and the little bit that he has experienced in this world and kind of why his view is the way it is when he is in character.
I'm just a baby.
Every time I think of Dominic in this campaign.
I just a baby.
Especially to me, Jesus Christ. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, well, not everybody can be a bajillion years old.
Dominic's
hey.
what, 15?
16.
15
Yeah,
or 16,
15.
yeah.
15. Okay.
I can't wait for Dominic's birthday.
15 and 2 months.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Dominic's counting the months.
yes, the days when you're that age.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a little bit of a story today that is sad in its own way. Everybody's got a little bit of sadness in their life, I would assume, but I think that it's very unique. And as in nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? Like everybody has something sad in their life.
Yeah, everybody's murdered
Sucks at
somebody.
least a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kaylee.
That's not what I meant, but anyway.
I know.
That's
I'm
totally
sorry.
what you meant.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
our friend Olga began her life before she knew it. Her family had been sort of torn apart, and her mother was the one that kept their relationship together. Olga heard many stories of her father's acts in the revolution in Alake, which is a northwestern city on the continent we've been on, and a very young democracy, but a very passionate one that will not stand. They're known now in the present day for not standing for any sort of risk of going back to those ways. And so along the middle of the continent, we've been on the eastern coast in Hazelport. Alake's on the western coast, right in the middle there. And I would have pulled up the map if I'd thought of it. Sorry, River Watcher. But along the cities and villages in the center of the continent, we watch a life on the road develop. I have the screen, but I'd have to pull up the thing. Maybe I'll do it at some point. But and we have a very young Olga on a wagon with her mother, whom I imagine she looks very much like to a middle-aged human woman with her very young daughter on a wagon, with selling anything that she can kind of get her hands on. If you'd like to share one of your earlier memories with her. Her very young old lady.
So, I gotta practice my Olga voice. She's gonna sound old because I can't be bothered to make her sound younger. Just so you know, don't be confused, she's not old yet. I'm gonna mute myself before I.
Yeah,
We all
Alright,
practice
we'll
sometimes.
Kind of go from here. So where are we starting?
A little bit of a story about one of your earlier memories on the road with your mother.
I guess it'd be kind of maybe her mother trying to teach Olga how to care for the shop so she can step out sometimes, something like that, or like getting Olga prepared to tend the shop when needed.
Yeah. And so as we sort of in between cities on the wagon, always, mother's always got the reins and old God sort of listening to her. Now, don't you forget, you can't let anyone pull a number on you, pull the wool over your eyes. People are always going to try to talk you down on a price. Don't haggle, or start high if you want to if you think they're going to try to haggle.
Well, I mean, does that depend on what we're selling? Because
What's up? I muted. Who was that else?
like if we're just selling them fruit, I really have to like charge them out the ass for it. Or...
She was downstairs listening to TED Talks about the interview that she needed to keep the
Sorry.
She didn't.
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
If we're selling fruit, do I really have to charge them out of the ass for it? I mean, I'll lock it, yeah, but if it's just some fruit we found in the woods...
Some of this stuff is fruit, sure, but don't forget, we have all of these special trinkets that we find along the way. And, anyone who's just looking for food, they're just a quick buck. But don't let anyone try to pull the wool over your eyes on things like the jewelry and anything that is... You got to watch for the twinkle in their eyes. You can see if they really want something. And that always means that there's usually a reason behind it. It's not just because it's pretty.
So, should I pry into why they're purchasing such an item? Maybe try to get them to talk about someone they're buying it for?
Well, I guess you'll have to keep watching me on that one, hun. Because it's always a little bit of a game. You have to kind of know your audience. You gotta, if it's somebody who's interested in something because it's magical, or maybe they're just interested because it belonged to someone they know and they were supposed to hold on to it and they weren't supposed to lose it, or something like that. So you gotta kind of be sly when you figure out the reason that they want something. But they'll take advantage of you if they can. That's unfortunately the thing that is the common thread. She's gets the horses going. And sort of from all of the times that you're going through the cities, the big cities of Airmore, and then through Hazelport, and then the smaller villages that surround it, you kind of see that. You can see when it's just folks who are kind of looking for food, looking for a deal on something, or just sort of the tourist type looking for a trinket outside the city. Whereas when it's someone who's trying to muscle their way into a deal on something that's worth a whole lot more. And you kind of watched your mom over the years finesse that almost like it was a dance. The conversation was a dance every time. And you both sort of just relied on each other to get through. Nothing was super easy, but it wasn't. It could have been worse, kind of thing, You never stayed in one place for too long, but it was the road was your home. And your mom would always tell you stories about how brave your father was. She'd say he led that revolution with all of his heart. And he led so many battles, and he was there on the last day at the final battle. And I know he'd be so proud if he had made it. Those were the kind of things that she would always tell you. And so the day, the very fateful day, when one of the last times that you were outside Hazelport with your mother, and she had been sort of out of sorts that morning. So we'll come to that morning. You were, I believe, a teenager at that point. So we go from little girl Olga to teenager old lady. And she seems very out of sorts, packing up her bag, getting ready to go into the city.
You're leaving so soon. Is everything okay? I mean, you seem a little bit frazzled.
Yeah, I can't find one of the things that I was going to bring into the city, and I promised someone that I would bring it, but I'll just have to let them know I'll bring it next time. And she's like digging around. She's like, I need you to watch the wagon today because there's supposed to be a bunch of groups coming out of the city, and they're all going to want to head up for snacks on the road, and some of them might even be interested in the other things on the wagon. So I need you to make sure that you're at the wagon all afternoon watching for travelers.
When are you going to be back?
I suspect I'll be back by dinner. And she's like still just like digging around everywhere.
Well, do you want a snack to take with you while you might get hungry.
Yeah, good point. She grabs one of the oat cakes from the baskets of rations and stuff. She's like, Olga, don't make promises you can't keep.
What does that mean?
Just, you don't want to find yourself, as you guys are like eating breakfast, because she gets one for you and hands you one too. She's like, you don't want to find yourself in over your head to the point where you can't fix your problems, you know? You don't want to be running away from stuff. There's too many people in this world running away from stuff.
Is there something that you can't fix?
Thankfully, I'm fixing my problems, but there's always a chance that things can catch up with you if you try to overpromise, and that's what you got to be careful of. So just always make sure that you don't make a promise you can't keep.
Are you worried about keeping a promise that you made? This is why you're going into town?
No, I told you, I've got to get this stuff into town, the goods into town, but you promised me that you'll stay with the wagon and not miss any of those travelers.
I will. This is my whole life has been in this wagon. That's all I know. I'm comfortable here.
Well, good. Well, I'll see you around dinner then.
Do you want me to cook something, or do you just want to bring something on your way back?
Yeah, I'll see what I can find in town. I'll get something special.
Okay, I'll see you later then.
She grabs her bags and she, looks around her stuff one more time before she heads out. And throughout that day, there was a few travelers. You did make a little bit of business, but as dinner time came and went, your mom never showed up. And did you decide to go into the city, or which way did you decide to go with that when your mom didn't come back for dinner?
Yeah, so she would have... At this point, she's kind of pacing around, and people passing by, she's going to ask if... She's going to describe her mom and, ask if they've seen her, where she's at, if they've seen her in town or not.
All right, yeah, so she had probably walked... people passing by, mostly just, nope, sorry, there's lots of humans here. No, not specifically.
So at this point, she's thinking to herself, I know I said stay with the wagon, but I have to find out where she is, and I'll just lock it up, and it'll be fine. So she's going to kind of lock everything up, make sure it's locked away and secure. She's going to anchor one of the wheels into the ground so no one can kind of take off with it, and then she's going to head into town to try and find her.
All right. and she kind of probably spent that whole evening asking around, eventually probably making a report with the city guard, which at the city guard she probably would have heard that they'll do their best and let her know, but they've had a few missing persons reports. They usually get about a few of them a month, and a lot of them don't get solved, but that they'll still keep their eyes out.
Well, I mean, you can't just like spare one officer to investigate. She said she was coming into town to do some business. She shouldn't have been able to disappear from here. She's got to be somewhere.
Absolutely, ma'am. We absolutely will make extra patrols, and we will take this description and have an artist render as best a sketch as we can, and we will be looking. I just want you to be prepared that unfortunately there's been a string of semi-regular people going missing, and we've been really trying to get a handle on it. We're not sure if it's bandits or if it's something worse like the Black Sails.
Who are the Black Sails?
And he kind of like shivers. He's like, if anyone gets on the wrong side of the Black Sails, it's hard for us to prove that they're the reason that someone went missing, but they're a very powerful and notorious group that is unfortunately really, really good at covering their tracks. But if you have never heard of them, then maybe your mom's never heard of them, and if she's never messed with them, then they might not have a reason to be involved.
Well, I know she's telling me a lot about not making promises that you can't keep. She said a lot of that this morning. And I tried to get anything from her, but she wouldn't budge, and she just played it off.
I mean, let's see how insightful this guy is. There's a chance, if your mom was talking like that, if she doesn't usually talk like that, that maybe she got into trouble with someone, but we'll definitely keep an eye out, and you can stay at the Cozy Salmon tonight. We'll set you up there if you need to, and check in over the next few days while we keep an eye out.
Our wagon is just outside of town. Can I bring that into town?
Yeah, the Cozy Salmon has a stable and everything.
I guess I'll go do that, and I'll check back later. Just please let me know if you find out anything.
Absolutely, we will. And so the dust overtakes us. Concerned Olga. And fast forward probably quite a few years of Olga sort of making her way in the streets and outskirts of Hazelport, because you didn't continue traveling after that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I assume they could only set her up in a place
For a little while.
for a little while, only for so long. And she would have just kind of had to stick to and sleep in her wagon, selling whatever was left of the goods.
Yeah, and you realized that goods were... You never really realized how your mom got new goods, because you were only ever making as much money to survive at first, and then as the goods dwindled down, you were never able to really purchase more. And it got to the point where you were pretty darn hungry and pretty darn desperate for a way to keep a roof over your head and keep your horse fed. And you had to make some choices to pick some pockets, I think. What was the first time that you decided that Olga had to decide that?
So, the first time she would have gone up to a market stall, she's very hungry. She would have seen an apple and thought to herself, well, they won't miss one apple. I'll take it, and I'll pay them back later.
Yeah. And her natural proclivity to stealth, as she realized, maybe she didn't know before that she was kind of naturally stealthy. She got her meal that night, and she got, I assume it was probably just meals to begin with. And maybe a slight level of, okay, I can do better eventually.
Yeah, I mean, built up more confidence. Like, okay, I can steal more than an apple. I can dine and dash. You know. But she tried that out.
Ever at the rusty
We've all been
bucket? Ever at the rusty bucket?
You better not have, is what I'll say. I'll be a very angry security guard there.
Because Roland would, I think, already worked there. Because this was only Olga's 60, 70, so.
Yeah. So he probably would have started working there at that point. Probably, yeah. Hey, get up. Go back here and pay your bill.
Now,
Flips him off and runs away.
I wonder, the first time that you decided to take a purse, was it probably from somebody who really looked like they weren't going to miss it kind of thing? Or was it just, I really want some money?
So it would have been someone who's sleeping, maybe someone who had a few too many and sleeping in the street, you know, outside of the bar. And they just kind of had their coin purse laying next to them, and she just takes it.
All right. And this could have been an opportunity after she had sort of been working off of that money for a little while. The next time that she's in the town, was approached. And was approached by someone who sort of was walking side by side with her and then sort of linked arms with her after saying, "Hello, friend." Without, it was just it was a hard grab, but not pulling you into an alley or anything. And they say, "It appears to us," and as they say us, another person appears on your other side and links arms with you on the other side, and you're all walking down the street, seemingly like really good friends, because the two next to you are smiling. They say, "It appears to us that you have decided it's appropriate to steal on the Lamplighters' territory."
Who? I don't steal it. What are you talking about?
One of them, the other one laughs. Oh, I think that we may have someone who's gotten themselves a bit in over their head. The other one nods. "No need to lie to us. We've been watching you." And at this point, they kind of ease you around an alley and are standing in front of you.
Olga's gonna reach behind her. She has a little dagger. She's gonna try to stealthily reach behind her to grab it.
What is Olga's passive perception?
Probably should have that pulled up.
Sorry, I didn't warn you.
Yeah.
I'm just letting this not be a full surprise, a complete surprise if her passive is high enough. Thanks you so much. I heard a sub alert. Thank you very much, whoever subscribed.
Uh, 16.
Okay. All right. So with a 16, as she was reaching for her knife or her dagger behind her, a hand from behind her stops her and says, "Oh, darling, you don't want to do that." And you can sense at least one more person behind you. And the one that stopped you in the very beginning goes, "Now listen, this does not have to end in violence. We're here to show you the light. If you prefer to remain in darkness and try to keep stealing on our turf, then this may need to end in violence. But we prefer to keep our hands clean."
Well, what's my other option if it's not violence? What do you mean if you're going to show me the light?
Your other option would be to leave any major cities, because we know we have guilds in every major city, and not show your face around anymore. Or, if you'd like to be shown the light, if you'd like to prove that you are like-minded, then you could possibly become one of us.
One of you, are you thieves for hire or something?
More like professionals. But yes, we are the Thieves Guild. But we're not the Assassins Guild. We don't just like to go around killing people.
Well, I mean, I have grown accustomed to taking things. I suppose there'd be something in making money off of it.
There's always something in it for the recruits. Or for the lamps. I think that we can make an arrangement. As long as you are willing to follow the hierarchies.
I mean, my situation itself is not very good. To be honest, seems like it's better than living on the streets.
We'll get you off the streets in no time, for sure. All right, friend, then let us show you the light. Can we get a little more mist, golden dust? And we have had a few smaller heists where you've proven your worth with another group of other lower level lamplighters, which surprisingly was not. They're of all ages. You know, there were people younger than you and people older than you along each way. And so your first couple of very low-key heists went really well, and your mentor was very impressed with you. And he honestly was often, he'd be like, see, I'm glad we showed you the light. And I think the star moment of your heist career was when your mentor came to you and said that we have a very special target tonight. There is a nobleman coming from across the sea, and he has a very special pocket watch. I need you to be a part of the diversion at the Starlight Soiree and then sneak away with it. You need to be charming, you need to blend in, and you need to seize your moment. This pocket watch is not a normal pocket watch, and it's very valuable. And if you can get his purse, you can have that too.
Well, this sounds like an easy job. Men are easy.
Tony. All right.
Ocerrya men. Okay, let's just clarify that. Okay.
So you're saying rolling is easy?
Ask Natasha. She might, have opinions on that.
All right. So you get your special outfit on to go up to the very, very fancy Starlight Soiree, which is located in the valleys, I think. I can't pull it up right now because it's going to mess up the screen. It's in Hazelport, and it is a very special, very upscale bar with upscale clientele. And there's some very... Oh, I didn't even change the music. There's some very well-known bards playing as you enter in. It's absolutely Flynn and the Leafwalkers from the RBCU. Yeah, so the night that you... It's Leaf and the Flynwalkers. Yes, that's what it is.
Leaf and the Flynwalkers.
So as you make your way into this wonderful bar, this fancy place with fancy clientele, all of which are pretty much incredibly drunk. You can see people spending money like it's nothing.
Olga, she sees her mark at the bar. So she's gonna kind of plant a seat next to him, kind of shyly look at him, look away, and then kind of like
How to get any man's attention.
Now smolder. Look away.
Bite your lip, look down.
yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sensing an overwhelming amount of sexism here, and I don't appreciate
No,
that.
I was making a reference to the TikTok.
No. Yeah, go like look at those TikTok videos because they are some of the funniest things on the planet. I can see if I can try to find some.
That now has to be an Olga thing on TikTok.
Yes, you have to make one as Olga. You have to do that as Olga on Reality Break TikTok. Someone put it in the thing. Write that down. Write that down.
Write it down.
So you can see this gentleman is, buying drinks for everyone, and he sees you walk in because Olga, as a young woman, was a very beautiful young woman, and he's like, "Hey there, hot stuff." I'm sorry, I'm not good at flirting. Okay.
This is gold. If someone could please clip Kaylee flirting.
Yes. Just one entire, segment. Longer than a clip. It's a segment.
Hey there, hot
Stuff. Kaylee's got rings.
Insert finger guns here.
Hey, can I buy you a drink?
Well, for sure. I mean, otherwise you can just send there gawking all night, or
Sorry,
buy me
my
a drink,
dear.
we'll see how the night goes.
Your beauty is rather astonishing. Sorry about that. I did not mean to stare. I've been on a boat for many weeks, and to see such a lovely specimen in front of me is quite a sight for sore eyes. Sorry for calling you a specimen.
That is, as a guy, I've heard guys say that about women, so it's not too far-fetched. As sad as that is.
Specimen, you say? So I'm just experiment to you then.
No. Please don't misunderstand me, my dear, as the drinks arrive. It's like, please, also, if you're hungry, please order anything you'd like to eat. I've been on a boat with a whole bunch of barbarians, and haven't had acceptable company in a very long time. Oh, sorry.
Well, I must admit, it's been a while for me too.
Well, I would love to hear about what you've been doing. I've just been on a boat staring at the ocean for months, it feels like.
Oh, I've been to plenty of parties like this. I just kind of come here and I let guys like you buy me stuff.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful life. You are very well entitled to it, it seems. I would love to be among those who will continue to buy you stuff while I am in town. And he's sort of like waving off to get some more foods and stuff for you.
Robin, keep it coming!
He's like, I am Sir Percival Windvale, my bad. It is lovely to meet you, my darling. What is your name?
I'm Olga Brightwood.
Ah, Miss
So
Brightwood.
I'm among royalty, am I?
I'm not quite royalty, but I am related to the royal family over in Nixon Shores. Cousins, So I guess technically I'm royalty.
Still, though, you must have all the insight into the royal family there. Is there anything interesting?
Only the royal family drama. Ugh. Unfortunately, I have
love
no.
to hear all about it.
Yes, just who thinks who should go marry which other family to strengthen the relationships between the monarchies and such. It's all very boring stuff,
I don't know. I mean, maybe to you if you live in life, but it's very interesting to me.
So he definitely is happily like spilling little things about his, the family's up in the you gather because of the way he's dressed too, and he ends up talking about it, that he's from one of the Arctic continents. And throughout the night, he's sort of flashing his rings, and he's flashing his necklaces and stuff like that. So pretty much, he was trying to get you to keep drinking, so he was drinking the whole time. And anywhere towards the night or throughout the night, you can sort of how did you make it happen?
So, I fancy a dance. How about you?
Aha, a dance! How lovely! I have two left feet, I must admit, but I'll try.
So she's gonna kind of grab his arm. She's gonna bring him out to the middle of the bar and go to the ballroom.
Oh, and throughout the night, he has checked the time, and you have figured out he's got the pocket watch in his breast pocket, and you have seen his purse on his side. And he's now like, oh, dancing very badly.
So she's gonna pull him in. She's gonna grab him on the shoulder.
Ooh.
She's grab him on the hip, and she's gonna pull him in.
Ooh.
And she's gonna kind of run her hand down on top of his chest.
Oh my dear. And he's gonna like have his hands on your shoulders. Ooh, everyone's around. Ooh.
She's just gonna kiss him. And she's gonna quietly try to slip the pocket watch out as they're busy.
Alright, let's get a sleight of hand roll for how cool it was.
Get it, girl.
Slip the tongue. You had a perfect opportunity.
If you slip the tongue, you get advantage.
So,
Do it both.
19,
Slip
you
both.
said sleight of hand.
Yep.
What the modifier can be that?
It's dexterity and probably proficiency, and if you took, I don't know if you took expertise in that one.
Haley, your Riz game is so strong.
Oh my! Everyone's
That'd be a
watching.
23.
Whoa!
Nice. Yeah, so he's totally taken aback and like into the kiss and does not notice at all. And he's, as soon as you
So-
get the watch out and you stop kissing him, he's like, oh, that was wonderful.
And she's also gonna try. She's leading him around dancing. She still has her hand on his hip, but she's trying, as they're dancing, she's gonna try to get his coin purse as well.
Alright, you sort of do some spins around him. Let's get another sleight of hand check.
Be a 19.
Nice, yep. So you're able to, sort of be dancing all around him, going down, coming up, spinning around, and your hand never leaves his side, and you're sort of like untying the coin purse as you do it, and it just sort of falls into your pocket as one of the times that you spin around. So how do you leave?
So she is like, well, maybe we should get out of here. What do you think?
Oh,
Hi, Kaylee, go!
I do, I don't know if I could do that. I have a room here, so, why don't you come upstairs with me?
Yeah, we can do that. First, I've gotta go freshen up a little bit, so what room are you in? And I'll see you there.
Oh, of course, I'm in room 24.
Alright, well,
He comes in for like a big
Leave
messy
plenty of-
kiss. He's not good at it.
oh, save that energy for later there, big boy.
She said big boy.
Save that energy, hunk.
All right, so he kind of blushes and goes back to the bar or goes, sort of walks his way upstairs. And I'm assuming you sneak your way out after going to the restroom?
Yep.
And Olga is gone. And so we have
Foxy minks you.
we have a last bit of mist.
Of course, Olga's gonna use her woman powers to get what she wants.
We have this last bit of golden dust and mist taking over, and sort of a fast forwarding of Olga working her way through not the black cells. Wow, no, not the black cells. Working her way through the lamplighters until she has been given the nasty pasty, which was her decision. She was given the building in order to do the fencing and selling stolen goods, but she decided what to do with it. And is it that she had always wanted to be a baker, or what was her thought process there?
So her thought process is like, well, how do I keep people who aren't in the know from ever coming here in the first place?
Nice.
I'll open a bakery, but I'm not going to be very good at cooking. I have no desire to learn how to cook. So that way, most of my customers, except for the crazy ones that actually like what I cook, will be within the guild or looking for information, and kind of be in the know.
Nice. Yeah, and sort of over the last few years, you had learned the hard way, unfortunately. Your first few shipments that were brought in of stolen goods came with a representative you had never met before, and they were from the Black Sails. And I'm sure that Olga had her usual stubborn attitude, but the first time that there was a shipment, your mentor happened to be there with you and had shut you up in that moment. And after they left, your mentor had warned you that the lamplighters have to tolerate the Black Sails because they can't go to the law. They can't go to the guards. There's no one for them to go to. And so unless you'd like everyone you know and love dead, don't cross the Black Sails, was very quickly made apparent in the fact that you also watched a few people that you had risen up the ranks with directly disobey the Black Sails and be ended on sight. And so I think you sort of fell into a rhythm of how to deal with them and spite them, but not get yourself killed, was sort of how you have been making your living.
So I guess we'd have like maybe, a little bit later after she's been done with the Black Sails for a little bit, maybe she's talking to someone. I don't particularly like these Black Sails people. They're rude, they're loud, and they always try to weasel their way out of a fair price for my goods. And of course, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I have to serve them most of the time. There's times I can lie my way out and say I don't have anything of interest to them, but I can only do that so many times before they get wise. If only they weren't such a problem, but it is what it is. They give me a few coin, and as long as I don't do anything to upset them, I can keep what I got going here.
Yeah, and I'd imagine this conversation probably took place when you came to pay your dues in the guild bar, and one of your friends from the guild is like, I get it. I don't like it either. I hate every time they show their stupid faces, and I wish one day that I could just be like, no, I'm not doing what you say, get fucked. But I don't know, one day maybe they'll be out of here. One day maybe Hazelport will be strong enough to keep them out, is the thing, because they don't show up in Aramore. I mean, maybe just because they don't have a port, but I haven't seen them show their faces there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd think that our organization would be on the top. I mean, feeling like our organization has to answer to them. I mean, are we really lamplighters, or are we, them?
Yeah.
Them?
Well, we all of us in the underground kind of work together, and the black sails are an unfortunate part of that. And I wouldn't say they're in charge of us, but not much we can do about them. I can say, and they get real quiet. If I ever heard of a way to get rid of them, I'd be on board. But just don't say it too loud, Olga.
Oh no, I keep to myself. I just deal with them, and once they're gone, I can kind of let it go and just sell to everyone within the guild and make back my coin that I lost out on if I had to sell something at a much lower price than I would want to.
Yeah, I mean, did you see some of those shipments last time? All those tropical fruits and stuff, and all of that, like, tribal stuff? I don't know. That didn't look like a revolution to me. I mean, they said that they're out there busting revolutions. This stuff that they brought me last time didn't seem like it was from a revolution.
Yeah, I mean, we had to stick it to them a little bit, the ships that they come in. What if some stuff disappears off something they bring so much stuff in, maybe a few items they wouldn't notice, and we can kind of stick it to them without, directly doing it.
I like the way you think. I'll spread the word. Start skimming off the top a bit.
I mean, we might as well get something out of the deal if we have to work with them.
Yeah, they already ask ridiculous amounts of money back on what they're giving us. I can't sell half the stuff for what they tell me to sell it for. All right, well, if you ever hear of another way to stick it to them, I'm on board. She cheerses you. All right, I think that as the mist gathers again, we've gotten a pretty good picture of Olga Brightwood, who just joined our story at the very end of chapter 1 with a very emotional entrance, because in her shop right now she has a piece of armor that is very, very special to Roland.
She had it.
Roland walked out with it.
I ain't that shit. I ain't that shit. It's mine now.
And I think this is also going to be a great time for us to take a quick break and stretch our legs, go to the bathroom, get a snack, do all of those wonderful break time things. Check out our clip reel, which you can become a part of if you take clips too. I'm not putting any of my flirting clips in the clip reel. Fuck you guys.
Yes, we are.
Guess who makes the clip reel? Guess who makes the clip reel?
It's gonna make
Guess who can also make clip reels?
all of us.
Yeah,
All of us.
she's not going to be the DM forever.
We're just gonna title it Kaylee's Riz Game.
No, Kaylee's Riz Reel.
Oh, it's real. There's got to be other ones too.
Oh,
I was
no.
out.
Okay, well, I'm in for it. Why don't you all enjoy these clips, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
That's good. Well, because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
bad.
usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You do also call everyone.
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Alright.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You got a tongue in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Joe.
so
He is
indeed a natural
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go. Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your car.
We're not dragging them down the road. They're on like
we made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just going to leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not.
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Did you hear it in your mind? Did you hear that in my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out,
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles his
he's
shirt
wearing
and pulls
it?
it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start. You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rules less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair. Jesus.
Oh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know
right.
about.
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Oh, yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
Is that in character?
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value,
Mert Master.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you!
Bye.
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. And bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes!
There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have
All
a
right.
trench coat.
Alright. But I'm...
We like clips.
Clips.
Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was pro
Oh no, so
stream
they
move right
didn't
there.
hear the
Pro
Yeah.
strip!
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yep.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Well, friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
fine.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right, right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us
I do.
friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Cockney rhyming speak. So I have something. I'm going to butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm going to respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug
in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first?
Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go. Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
At off.
Very second.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
you're dragging bodies down the road on your car.
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down the road. They're on
We
like
made
a
a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not.
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. that's the dog.
Did you hear it in your mind? Did you hear it on my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
wrap
basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. That's it. Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind
Good
of
to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start.
You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
And
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Y'all were like, whoa, what are you...
As ready as I'll ever be.
Are we?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back
Hey.
to Reality Break, where we take a break from the real world to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, it's just like radio one.
I think we need to do that every time just to see how D does it differently each time.
Every single time.
It makes my soul happy.
Welcome to the very last of our prologues, and it's going to be a little bit different. This is a very recent prologue. The mist has all cleared from all of these amazing stories, and we really are taking it back to just on the road back to Hazelport. We kind of skipped the travel when the party made their way back to Hazelport from Fraymore after saving Benjamin Lightdabble's field from the Chimera. Which was quite a thrilling experience. And also on the road to Hazelport, they had ended up fighting some bandits. So on the way back, Ashrin had a lot on her mind of what she had learned, seen from her friend Roland, heard from her friend Roland, and now her friend, and also her friend Ramasha, both of which are very martial types. And now seeing her new friend Dominic, who also can handle himself in a fight. And I think she's had a lot on her mind.
So Ashrin, especially after some of the conversations and revelations and being in the place of her childhood, was feeling very kind of put out with her warlock patron, because she's constantly running into people who don't see her as herself, either because they see her as the kid that she used to be, or they see her as, this glamored up whatever from what her patron has added to her natural assets. Yes, right.
No, she has her natural beauty and her patron is her makeup.
Yes, that's a good way of thinking of it, actually. I like that. But she, I think, was getting a little bit fed up with not being seen for who she is. And so rather than leaning into the warlock, like the idea of taking more power from her patron, receiving more power from her patron, she decides that she wants to learn to fight. And so after they've had a meal for the night, they're all the party's like kind of not like setting watches yet, but they've eaten. But there's that like time in between where everybody's like sitting around the campfire chatting.
If I may, I would think that Roland would have done a really good job this whole time after the Chimera fight, and then at this moment, he finally looks at Dominic and say, "Dominic, I gotta tell you, kiddo, that miss you had was one of the coolest looking misses I've ever seen in my entire life." Did you see that action? He did this cool flip and then he just whiffed.
Oh, Roland, that's not very nice. He was doing his best.
I would rather look cool doing something and miss it than try to sneeze and break a hip.
Oh, do you hear this kid, Ramasha? Do you hear this kid? The utter disrespect for his elders.
He doesn't understand the way we do.
I tell you what, you know what? Hey, kiddo, you could take some tips from me. Yeah, I didn't look as graceful and glorious as you did, but you know what I did? I got the job done. Old Roland could give you a lesson or two if you need some advice.
I'm still learning how to read. I don't need your encyclopedia of your life, okay?
All right. I'm just saying.
Lies.
Roland, that actually makes me think of something.
What's that?
I've been thinking about that fight with the Chimera and just everything that's happened, and I think if you would, I'd like you to teach me how to fight. I've got this scimitar off of one of those goblins, and I think that it's a good size for me, maybe.
Give it here.
She hands it over.
All right. See, Dominic? She's a smart kiddo. She appreciates the knowledge and experience.
Well,
That's all I'm gonna say.
I certainly can't handle a bow like Dominic, so I'm not going to ask him. And I don't have a firearm or claws, so I don't think Ramosh is going to be very much help.
I'll give you that, Dominic. You are a real good shot. I'll give you that. So I'm gonna.
I was just off my
Mullen
game that
grabs
day.
the
It's just off my game.
grabs the blade
Alright.
in. Cuts.
So he kind of looks it over. He's like, for your first one, this one's not bad. And I hand it back. We definitely want to get you an upgrade at some point, but that should do. It's got good balance, not great balance.
Damage it while I'm just learning.
You know, that is pretty close to my saber here.
Ramosh is going to pull out his Rosaline. It's going to look pretty similar, but it's not a scimitar, it's a saber.
Now
Which is
that
bigger,
is a
I
good-looking
think, right?
blade.
Bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
Longer and yeah.
Would you like to try?
I think that's a bit much for me. I'd like to stick with something a little. I mean, I'm not like Roland's size, but I'm not big and tall like you.
Yeah, but fair enough. But that is a fine-looking blade, sir.
It is beautiful.
And I want to hear the story about how you came across such a good-looking blade. I'm sure that's got to be a story.
So how do I do this then? And she's gonna just hold the
hold
scimitar
on.
out and kind of
Hold
like.
on. Bill, we didn't hear any of that. Just FYI. Still not hearing any of it.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Oh, okay, it came unplugged. What did I even say now?
That's for another time.
That's a tale for another time. For right now, let's look at more pressing matters.
All right, that's fair. All right. So come on over here.
How do I do this? Like.
All right. All right. So I take out the warhammer, and I'm like, you look ridiculous. Yep. You look ridiculous. You look like somebody that's.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Okay.
asking.
Well. Okay. So, if you're gonna be serious about this, then it doesn't start with just pointing the pointy end at the other person and trying to go like that as much as you can. Now, some instructors may just do that, jump you right into technique and execution and footwork and all that, but for me, I've always looked at it differently. Now, and I look at Dominic, when I've instructed the dozens of warriors out in the world,
Roland, leave him alone.
I'm just reminding him that my experience is valuable. That's all I'm saying. You are muted.
And vast.
Yes, vast like the great ocean. But for me,
I've never been to the ocean.
We'll get you there soon enough, kiddo. Don't worry.
You can see it in Hazelport. Oh, we didn't go to the docks in Hazelport, did we?
Not yet. We may need to stop over there. Yeah. But for me, what makes a strong warrior, especially when you've got a whole bunch of background noise like we had with the Chimera, because we had Sindel's group over there doing goodness knows what. We had the plants on fire. We had this Chimera jumping and flying around. The biggest thing that you need to start with is focus.
So with that word, that triggers a memory in Ashrin.
And she hears the words in her head of her patron. Magic flows through you like a river, wild and untamed. But like a river, it can be channeled. Focus your intent. Envision your desires and release the magic as if it were a part of your very being. Let it cascade forth like a waterfall.
So after hearing, having this memory of the voice that was teaching her how to use her magic, originally, back, in the last few years.
Back in the olden days.
Back in the olden days, 6 years ago. It makes her think of the focus that she uses when she casts her magic, and she kind of smiles a little bit and then sighs a little bit, and she's like, "Roland, I That is something I do know something about. It might be a different kind of focus, and then she'll kind of like bring a little purple ball of light into her hand, and it takes focus to do this. It's a different type, but
you are exactly so perceptive. Yeah, everything in life takes a certain amount of focus, and that focus comes from different places. Whether it's an emotional focus, whether it's a mental focus, whether it's a psychological focus, a physical focus, different types of focus elicit different types of reactions and promote different types of skill sets. Don't I sound smart, Dominic?
I don't understand a word you're saying.
One day, kiddo. One day, kiddo.
Got
All right.
nothing?
All right, so
but
then...
Dominic, doesn't it take a certain amount of focus to aim and shoot your longbow? Because you're very good at that.
One type of focus. Focus.
But
why you got so many types of focus?
Well, so how do you, when you're aiming your longbow, what does that feel like to you? Like, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on your breathing? Or are you focusing on your stance? I
don't know. I just do it.
Oh, maybe I'm overthinking things.
Yeah, there you go. See? And we're learning more about the types of focus you need to worry about. So, like, you've been so focused on this type of focus. You've been so focused on this type of focus that maybe we need to think about a different kind of focus. Somebody better be writing this down. This is Proverbs.
I can't even read. You think I can write?
I was more towards Russia. This is more towards Russia.
Smart.
I was more for
that.
I don't have a writing utensil.
He like
big
stamps his foot.
Speaking of writing, have you?
Grabs a piece of wood, uses his claws to.
Speaking of writing, do you? Wow, where did that come from? Do you know how to read?
No.
Dominic?
I just said that.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to her.
Oh.
To me?
Oh.
Yeah, I know how to read.
I'd hope so. She's teaching me how to read.
That is what you need to do when it comes to battle. You read your opponent as if reading a book.
That's another wise saying. Now.
Sounds like a self-help video.
Read your opponent. I mean, I do kind of do that when I do have some abilities to influence people's minds and emotions and reactions to things.
No, that's good, because you can channel that into your fighting style, because you can influence people with your words, but what you want to do when you're fighting is influence them with your technique, influence them with the actions you take in battle.
Alright, so when do I actually get to swing a sword in this training?
It's not just, what did I... Kiddo, what did I just say?
I just said that I can do the focus part, that's
all right, fine. Alright, you want to skip beginner and go to intermediate? Fine.
A girl after Jen's heart.
There we go. Pow, pow, pow. Alright, fine. Alright, so give me your best fighting stance. Let's see it.
Take the scimitar and kind of like shoulders back, like one foot slightly in front of the other, weight distributed evenly, knees slightly bent. How's
more.
that?
Stand up straight.
More. Stand
Arm
up.
back.
Okay.
No.
Flare your
a little bit more
nostrils.
forward.
A little more forward.
Lick your lips.
Flare your
I'm not
nostrils.
flicking my lips. I don't think that has anything to do with a fighting stance.
Alright, so I'm going to... Alright, so I'm gonna do a pay. I'm gonna do like a circle around and be like, not bad. And I would like to roll for a tripping attack.
Try and push her over, or trip. Okay, so if you have your character sheets up, we would do either athletics or acrobatics, whichever for both of you contested.
All right, I like my athletics.
I like my acrobatics. Which dice? I'm gonna use this one.
That's not fantastic. I should have rolled a different one.
That's 15 acrobatics.
16.
So
Let's go.
just barely, you're kind of thinking you've got your stance right, and Roland comes up behind you and kind of trips your back foot and knocks you down. Just barely.
What I'm thinking I do is I take my warhammer and then I do like a flip like that.
Oh, so you
instead
go
of, like, just
after her
tripping
and
with my
attack.
leg-
Okay.
Well, yeah, just like a tripping attack with the hammer. The hammer
Okay,
is
it
just
scoops it
for
around
flavor.
your leg. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then just does a whoop.
And it's way quicker than you
And
would have
then-
ever expected from Roland, so it's just enough to get you off guard.
So she's gonna land flat on her back. Roland,
Yep.
what was I doing wrong? You gonna even tell me?
Get up. Let's try this again. All right, come on.
She's gonna get up, but she's gonna like hike her skirt up a little bit and tuck it into her belt, so it's like knee length instead of like ankle length.
There we go. All right. See? That's another rule. You're learning from opportunities. You assessed your situation. You made a calculation. You made an adjustment. That's another excellent thing you need to do when you're fighting someone one-on-one. Well done. All
right.
So now let's look. All right. So she gets into her stance and he does the pace again, and he's gonna sit there and he's gonna walk around her and he's gonna go, I will say there's a lot of different types of fighting techniques. I will call myself a bit of a brawler. I'm not fancy. I'm not anything like that. I get in there and I get the job done. Dominic over there, he's a little flair for the dramatic, but doesn't always seem to work out so well.
Does when he's using his bow.
This is very true. Got something to say, kiddo?
No.
That's what I thought. See? You know what I said about the learning from your mistakes? That's what Dominic just did. There we go. You're learning, kiddo. I'm proud of you. All right. So
I know where you lay your head at night. Get Ramasha to wrap you in your sleep.
I was just saying, you asking me out on a date, kiddo? Because I know how to dance.
What is this BAP thing you speak of? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
All right.
A land hearing.
All right. So speaking, actually, we're out of game. We learned from Ramasha's prologue. We have to be very careful when making stuff like this because he has a dark side. All right. So,
but you don't.
But that does bring up. I do not know that. But that does actually bring up an excellent point. So, like I said, I myself am a brawler. I'm not fancy. I get up there. I smash hard. And some people, they treat their fighting style, they treat their fighting technique like they're doing some kind of dance step.
And that, again, brings Ashrin back to a memory of when she's learning magic from her patron years ago, just learning how to wield it.
In the delicate art of spellcasting, remember that each incantation is a verse, each gesture a dance step. When you recite a spell, let your voice carry the ancient songs of the old ones. When you move, let your body echo the graceful movements of the forest creatures.
Sounds like a fun cult.
That's called the Cult of the Fae. So thinking about what Roland was saying with fighting as a dance step and thinking about the way that she was taught magic as almost, in my head, it's kind of like really flowy modern dance in a way. If you've seen really like that really flowy modern dance style, not the kind that's all angles and stuff, but like,
robot.
Yeah.
if you watch modern dance, and the idea of having to think of magic that way as part of your movements and part of your body in a way, and the way that you move your body and the way that you present yourself and things like that. I think she can make those connections with what Roland's trying to say about using your body to fight and using your body to cast magic.
I just had the best idea.
And what's that?
It's a party of interpretive dancers that are mages. So they're dancing.
It's all the somatic components, yeah. Or the, yeah.
Fireball.
Components.
Yeah, and so the next time that Roland tries to trip you up, I would say that you had advantage because you kind of channeled that sort of part within you.
All right, and I will say, I know I'm not gonna get advantage or anything, but I will say that this time when I notice her kind of go into like that lost memory for a little bit, and she's still in her dance, I do take that opportunity to go in and try to do another trip attack.
You get pulled out of it by that, but you have advantage.
Okay. I do have an advantage. All right, let me pick 2 good dice. Come on, dice. I'll go with this one.
But yep, you did it.
I did because I got a 19.
Yeah, you did it. We'll say you did it.
What would you get? What? That one in the chat. Yeah, so you, even though he sort of wrenches you out of this memory, you hear it coming and you almost feel it coming that time. And you're able to sort of hop out of the way and knock him over with your sword.
Yeah, so she just kind of hooks the sword underneath the hammer and flings it away.
It seems as if, I'm gonna help Roland up, it seems as if she's learning quickly.
Yeah, that was alright.
Aw, thanks.
Always.
No, I'm kidding, kiddo. That was a fantastic move. You caught me. You took advantage of my momentum and just threw me to the ground. That's very impressive. I'm very proud of you for that.
Very well done.
Jeez.
I will tell you, the stance of your opponent will tell you exactly what their plan is. I don't expect you to know what it is now, but someone who is light on their feet and he's going to start bouncing back and forth just on the balls of his feet, they're going to be a little bit more quick, a little bit more agile, and for that you'd better off to stand your ground, be solid, and get ready for a quick attack. Versus, if they're solid and they're stomping at you, in that case you'd best off be actually more fast than they are.
I'd probably be better at that, to be honest.
With that sword you have there, dear one.
Unless I start,
would say
I don't know, chopping wood or something.
You might need to get those gains, kiddo. I'll tell you that.
I'll work on it. Maybe Dominic can give me some tips.
He is a very large human being.
I'm not large.
No, but you're strong.
No, it's okay.
I don't know how to explain myself.
You're
not large.
You are large and in charge, my friend. And don't sell yourself short.
Well, I'm not short.
I forgot. You are definitely not short. That's for sure. All right. The biggest thing, though.
Are you allowed to laugh when a short person makes a short comment?
Always.
It's my joke, okay?
So.
This is my joke.
Exactly. If he's joking about it, then it's fair game.
Yeah, exactly. But in all seriousness, the biggest thing is you cannot fight any other way. You cannot fight any other way than how you fight. And that's going to take time. You are the only person that knows how you fight. You always have to use that to your advantage, but that is something you will learn every day. Even when you get as old as I am, you learn something new about how you fight every day. Especially if we're going to be getting into more fracases and whatnot. So, alright. And he walks over, picks up his warhammer, and kind of sheepishly is like, alright, let's head over to that tree, and let's get some strikes in, since apparently you've definitely passed to intermediate. So...
Before you do that,
all right.
Asher, come here for a moment.
She walks over.
Ramasha's going to take his sword out, look at it. He's going to take your scimitar and he's going to pass you that.
You're better off to practice with something heavier than you're used to.
This is gonna be awkward, but I guess I understand.
Practice with that for 10 minutes and then you'll see how easy this is.
That reminds me of a time when I was training back on the continent of Clara. I used to run 5 miles every day with weighted bracers on to help, and then when I took the bracers off, I found I ran faster. Man, those monks were something else. They're just another level
left the continent.
I did. I am well traveled, motherfucker.
Maybe I can work on that in the future,
One
but
word
I
for
think
it.
this is a good idea to start with at least. She tries to hold it with one hand, but it's like wobbly.
It is much heavier, yeah. What's your
heavy.
strength?
10.
Okay, yeah. So it's not completely unwieldy, but it is much heavier than the other one. Yep.
Just dragging
Alright.
it behind her.
All right, so get a couple strikes in. So let's see how you would strike it with this heavier weapon.
So she probably will try to lift it and like do a slash, and then like have to catch it part way just because it's so heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
With one arm.
If you want to roll for coolness, do athletics.
Okay.
Because this is heavy.
Can she roll at a disadvantage because it's uncool?
Well, I mean, if you want to, for flavor, that's up to you.
I'm kidding.
At
Honey, just
disadvantage,
because
that's
you're
a
the coolest
7.
stat around
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't mean everyone else.
What was the regular roll?
The first one was a 17, actually.
Okay, so we can say that from the beginning to the end of the practice with the saber, it kind of started with this whole like very wobbly arms, but you kind of noticed that you got into this flow with it. It was heavy, but you kind of felt it connecting with you, and you could understand of how they were telling you, start with something that's going to be too hard. And
All right, just a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too hard. All right, so now I will take the sword, hand it back to Ramasha, hand her the scimitar, and say, "Now see how this feels."
Then I'm gonna take some swings at it, and I assume it would be much easier.
It's like so smooth. It feels so much
Yeah.
better. In fact, you probably never realized that a weapon could feel so natural.
I could do this. This is something I could do.
There you go. And I'm going to like clasp her. Is she too high to go on the shoulder? It'd be like on the arm,
think
I
so.
guess.
I'm like 5'6", so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's tall enough. Yeah, and I'm kind of tall for a dwarf,
Yep.
I think. So I kind of clasp her on the shoulder and say, "Congratulations, kiddo! You've taken your first step into a much larger world."
Well, it feels like
because I'm
taking
short.
It's good, Roland. That's good.
Hey, small but mighty is what I always say.
I like it. Well, and I look at
short
it
but strong.
too
That was
as-
it. Short but strong.
Short but strong.
Let me tell you, that was perfect.
Well, it feels like to me just taking a step towards independence and not being reliant on somebody else for something.
No, that's another beautiful thing about fighting, and Ramasha can relate to this. There's one person in charge of your when you're fighting. There's one person in charge, and that's you. And that's what you're trying to impress upon your opponent. You are in charge. You are taking the initiative. You're the one in command of the situation. No one else. There's no deity backing you up. There's no nature protecting you when stuff goes wild. There's no book full of magic spells that you could just fling at somebody and hope for the best. It is you and your blade and your opponent. That's it.
Picturing a wizard throwing a spellbook at someone.
Actually, yeah. That's actually what Masha was just going to say. Because in all actuality, as learning how to fight, it is always good to be able to use any weapon within your reach at any given moment.
Well, that actually brings me to something, because I did learn something from my patron that I haven't really had an opportunity to use since I don't fight with a sword. But let me see what this does. And so she'll take the scimitar and kind of like do one of those like couple of flares, and the whole thing will light up green with green flame. And then she'll like go like she's gonna make a slashing attack, and the flame will actually jump from one tree to another tree.
Is that one of your spells? Holy
Called Green Flame Blade.
Nice.
She's over here freaking
Yeah.
loading the lightsabers.
Hey, that was pretty cool, kiddo.
That's really neat. I'll have to remember that. That's. Oh, we should put this fire out though, and so she's gonna like run up to the tree and just kind of like stamp the fire.
Not bad for your first try.
And I envision
Did anyone else just imagine like, and you're watching Disney Channel, but like with a flaming scimitar?
I was thinking more
Just
Star
me?
Wars. No, just like flaming green. I'm like,
I could just picture like leaning down to Roland being like, "Did you know she could do that?"
No, I did not know she could do that, but we have to play this cool.
Yeah.
Ramesh is a cat. He's gonna see the flames and take off running the other.
This is totally normal.
And I imagine because her magic is like purple at its base, so I imagine it's actually like purple along the sword, but like kind of turning green.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, the spell's called Green Flame Blade, but most of the warlock things are purple. So yeah, however you want to flavor
and
it.
her like that's her thing is purple, but I imagine that like her patron's magic is largely green.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so it's a little
and so
mix.
I think
That's cool.
that like the spell comes from her patron, but like it's got her focus and her like energy behind it. So that's why I envision it like purple, but with like a green tinge.
That's really cool. I like it.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite things about magic is the flavoring.
Yeah, that's what I like too. So,
Yeah.
well, that seemed to work pretty well. I think I'll have to keep
yeah.
that one in my back pocket.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's get some more flammable swings in. We got like about an hour and a half before sundown, so let's go ahead and get some more swings in. So let's go.
All right.
Away she goes.
Go at it.
Dominic's over in the corner going, "Wee, wee."
Dominic's looking for a lizard.
Search for lizard. Roll for lizard.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Do I get to roll for lizard?
You can roll if you see one, sure. But you haven't reached the goal, so you can't keep it if you find one.
Do I see lizard?
Roll for it. Roll for lizard.
Okay. I'm rolling for. What am I rolling? A D20? Sure.
It'd be. Oh, I would say.
Am I like animal handling? Like.
This is just to see
Just
if
a
you could
flat
find one. Yeah.
So
a luck
perception or?
It's a luck roll, basically.
You find a
Luck roll,
rock that
okay.
looks like a lizard.
I rolled a D20. It hit another D20 and knocked it to an 8. I also rolled an 8. How does that happen?
Double 8.
The double 8.
All right.
I only rolled 1.
So Dominic's off looking for a lizard, but does not find any streams along the way, and so
Finds a snake.
some
Gets
bugs
bit.
and other rodent running around. Land herring.
right.
He finds the land here.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I would say by the like right before we head to bed, like, all right, you've been at it for a while now, kiddo. How you feeling? How's your
My
arm?
arms are tired.
Good. That means you put in a hard day's work.
All right.
Now, before we head for bed, there's a philosophical part to fighting too.
All right.
And I know you got a good head on your shoulders, but you got to remember this, because it's very easy to forget this. Yes, you are in command when you are fighting, but you also have to remember who your opponent is and who your opponent should be. It's gonna be, especially the higher up you get, the more fighting you do, the easier it is to just get into a fight because it's an easy fix to a problem. It is most assuredly not. You gotta think with your head and not with your heart.
He said
You gotta keep your emotions in check when you fight, because the minute you let go of your emotions when you're in a fight, you get sloppy, you make mistakes, and you can also end up hurting someone that you're not intending to.
All right. I can remember that.
Good.
Nothing fast.
Now I need any questions for
fast
me at
for
this
Masha
point?
attacks.
You got any questions for me there, kiddo?
I don't think so, but I would like to continue learning.
Hey, we get back to Hazelport. We'll set up some attack dummies at the Gilded Hammer. Maybe we can get some extra practice swings in, every once in a while.
That would be nice. That would be great.
And I know things got kind of wild there in Fraymore. How are you holding up?
It was strange being back there. I mean, everybody treated me like I was, 16 again, and like nothing had happened. And that's not, my world changed when I was 16 and left. And to go back there and have it not be any different, and have everybody treat me the same. It was uncomfortable, even though it was familiar.
Yeah. Well, I will say that I am proud of the woman you have grown into. And I look forward to see how you continue to grow within yourself and grow the confidence in yourself, especially now that you know how to kick somebody's ass with a sword.
Oh, thanks, Roland. And she's gonna reach down and give him a big hug.
All right, well, get a good night's sleep, because when we get back to Hazelport tomorrow, we're setting up those attack dummies, all right?
All right.
All right. Good night, kiddo.
What a lovely fade out for our amazing group and our awesome prologues for these characters. I'm really excited that you decided to go this direction, Christy, and I'm really excited for what that's going to look like for Ashrin. This is really cool because she's already seeing what she can do combining her abilities. So,
yeah. So for those who didn't get the subtext, Ashrin's multi-classing into fighter, which is my first multi-class character. So,
hey, Roland's my first multi-class character too. Hey.
This is not my first and also not multi-class.
And the other thing I will
did,
say is that what would you multi-class Dominic into?
I would probably go fighter.
Oops, all fighters.
We'll train the world. We'll open my own fighting fighting school. Let's go.
What if he just goes far left paladin?
Holier than. Hey, I'm a paladin too. I can teach you paladin stuff.
Never mind. I'm not gonna do anything that Roland does.
Aw.
It's funny because I thought my first thought was druid, so you get more spells or something. But I guess it
the forest.
Maybe even monk.
Yeah. You are very in. That's what we learned from your prologue. Was how in tune with nature you are. So druid would be pretty cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a ranger.
Yeah, rangers have magic.
Ranger. And you're awkward.
Yeah, you're a ranger druid.
Not that far.
And I'm awkward.
Are you a Texas?
Yeah.
Ranger?
The trees are my friends, not food. Wait.
The other thing I will say is that Kaylee and I did come up with a couple of different scenarios for Ashrin's prologue. So if we ever have a week where we need some filler, like if somebody's out or people can't make it or for whatever reason, we might revisit some of those.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Olga has a couple of those, and Roland only told one of his. So yeah, that's an option for. I love this sort of storytelling vibe. It's a lot of fun.
I have a fucking novel.
That's the most fun.
I'm gonna have to flesh them out a little bit, I think, but I think we've got some good scenarios that I think would be good for something like that.
And
we could even do it like a campfire around the campfire type storytelling.
I think once we're officially playing again, I'm gonna start trying to take notes this time.
Oh, all right. Hey, there is never
Join
such
the
thing as
club.
too many note takers. There's
Another
never
note
such
taker
thing as
into
too much
the
takers.
Although I will say my notes for this session are a little sparse.
Yeah.
And then me and Bill are just like, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, because part of it is I don't remember anything until I'm reminded of it in the next session. So
Yeah.
because I've
notes
thought
definitely
about
help.
writing it diary style.
Yeah, that's fun.
I've started to
That's
do
how-
that for Kira in the Starkill campaign. I started to write like a diary entry, and that way, so that because I like it so that you can capture your character's impressions
Yeah.
of what's going on instead of just the facts of what's going
That's
on.
what my friend is doing in my other Ocerrya campaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be like, March 10th, 1983. For some reason, my poop is green this morning.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks, John.
Is that from your actual diary?
But yeah,
Yes.
this has been a blast. I am so excited. We are not going to be streaming next week. Oh, let me do this since I think we are wrapping up now. I am going to go to our spiffy little ending screen. And I just wanted to let you all know that we are going to run next week. We're going to run all of the prologues together in one episode so that you can see them all in one. And then the following Tuesday night, we are going to jump right back into officially chapter 2 of Ocerrya, which I'm very excited.
Yeah, let's go.
We left off with in Olga's store, so we're going to get ready to jump back into that and all of the complexities that come with that. So for now, was there anything else anyone wanted to say about their character, their prologue, and everything that we've been doing for this?
I was gonna say, this was fun, kind of fleshing out backstories, because you don't really get a chance to like talk about isolated incidences in somebody's past unless it comes up in the middle of a session or something like that. So being able to focus this a little bit, it definitely was a cool experience. So
Yeah.
I agree. This was a thrill for me. This was awesome to see each
All
person.
I'm gonna say is you haven't seen all of Olga yet. You thought
Yep.
all that was cool?
That happened with everybody. Heads up, that happened with everybody. You thought what you saw was cool. They all have so much else left to show you.
I didn't even tell you guys the story about that time I fought a wyvern, for crying out loud.
Oh, there it is.
It has to be big on purpose, though.
It's
the
true.
big fish story. It's the fishing story.
There's nothing that you could ever tell that's like that will live up to what it is or could be.
That
Like,
is
the
true.
imagination is.
Yeah.
The mystery of it is so much more fun than actually knowing what the story really is.
This is true. This is true.
Well, my
You
friends,
fought a dog named Wyvern.
unfortunately, it is time for us to get back to the real world. Boo.
Boo.
But we will join you again. Like I said, next week we will have a rerun, but the week after that we will join you again, ready to start chapter 2 officially of Ocerrya, and I cannot wait. Take your bets.
Have a fun and safe Halloween.
Oh, have a wonderful
for those
Halloween.
that celebrate it, however you do it.
And
so.
get here for the replay so you can drop your points for Dominic's lizard.
We got to get Dominic's lizard. Yes,
We do
queen.
need that. So what do you say we go and raid? We are 25% complete on your lizard, by the way. What do we say we go and raid our
That's actually not bad
friends?
for 2
So
sessions
that's
of
like
it.
tail and 2 legs.
You're getting your lizard. We'll get there. We will get there. What do you say we go raid our friends, goblins and warlocks again?
Sure.
And
Go hang out with those kiddos.
if I spell it right. It's intended for
Everybody's
mature
a kiddo.
audiences. Get in here, use your points, guys, and we will
Sorry,
see you all next time.
Dominic.
Sorry, Dominic. Yeah, Dominic's not allowed. He's too young.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Aww.
And she leaves on that downer.